Hi divas, welcome back. This is Coffee Talk, an unedited, unfiltered conversation with just us two friends, chatting it up in the kitchen here, drinking our coffee. I'm drinking cold brew today. We're back in the States. We're drinking cold brew. They don't have that in Europe. I wanted to say thank you so much for all the kind comments on my posts about going to Paris and Oxford. Today's actually going to be a little bit different. I am giving you guys a souvenir haul tour. Souvenir haul. I'm showing you guys what I brought back because I took so much footage while I was in Paris, and editing it is just going to be a bear. Today is Space Maker Sunday, right after I got back from Paris. Basically, my living room still has suitcase all over it. But I wanted to film a coffee talk for you guys. I wanted to film a video. I wanted to get the ball rolling. It's also turning from winter into real spring in New York, which means it's time for clothing switcheroo time. So we have a lot going on, even though I just came from having a lot going on. It seems to never stop. But I wanted to show you guys what I brought back from France and the UK, kind of let you guys into my psyche, see how I travel, see kind of what I did a little bit, and then I will get to work on editing Paris stuff as soon as possible. So cheers, gang. Before I start though, right before I left, I didn't bring it to Paris because I was afraid I was gonna lose it. But look at what I got! It's a mask chain. So it just clips on like this, and I think it's like the cutest little accessory. I got it on Etsy. They have like all different kinds and all different designs. Some of them have like beads, some of them have like different stuff besides this. Like I saw one that had like swords on it. I will link the Etsy seller below. I just got so excited when I saw that, and it's like a fun way to accessorize. Sorry, I still have Okay, I have sleep in my eyes still. I'm still recuperating from the jet lag a little bit, hence the need for caffeine. It's a fun way to accessorize your mask. In addition to, by the way, this is a kind mask. You can use my discount code that's in the comments for 25% off your order. And I also get a commission from that as well. And it's a great way to stock up if you are traveling in the near future and want to protect yourself in the airport and on the airplane when you're jammed in there with a lot of people who might be sniffly or have something going on and you don't want to catch it and miss out on your vacation. Good thing to protect yourself all the time anyway. So anyway, I was super excited about my mask chain purchase. But that was even before I left for Paris. So I think I'm going to do this in categories because there is a lot going on here. I have some of the more large items over here, and maybe I'll go back and forth between and kind of talk about some of the things that I saw as I give you the tour of things. So the first thing I'll bring up are these shopping bags. So some of them look pretty non-plus, but for example, this museum has beautiful shopping bags that I want to say I paid €1 each for these. And for example, today's my sister's birthday and I can give her gift in one of these. And they're also great little memories that can go in my bag station, which has a lot of room in it. This one is from Sainte-Chapelle, which I will talk more about. This one is from the Opera House. Oh, this one is from Shakespeare and Company. And this is from like a chocolate maker that I bought like the most delicious chocolate from while I was there. And then this one is from Oxford, the oldest bookshop in Oxford, which had like an amazing room that had 3 stories worth of books. So why I love kind of bringing these back, it might seem a little weird or random to some people, but they get reused and used again, and they're flat, so they just go in the suitcase sort of pocket, slide in, and they were like super easy to transport back, and they're fun little memories of some of the places I went. So the Monet ones are from the Marmottan Museum. And they actually even say like celebrating 100 years of Claude Monet. He passed away exactly 100 years ago. This one is from Giverny, and the rest I think I told you about. Giverny is the garden. Monet is one of my favorite artists, and Giverny is the garden where he painted water lilies and the bridge and a lot of his later impressionist work. So we took a trip outside of Paris to see that. Next up, what do I want to do next? Oh, I really need to like post a picture of this on. I got this coat. So I met up with a really dear friend of mine, childhood friend, for dinner, and I was complaining to her that I wouldn't have time to go to the Marché Puce, which is the flea market in Paris, because it was like extremely out of the way. And she said, "Oh, I understand. And you know, there are like other more neighborhood, smaller flea markets that you can go to, because I really wanted to look at like some secondhand fashion and some of the like booths and see things, how they do things there as opposed to how they do things in New York." But she said, but there are some stores called Freep, Freep, and it's like secondhand clothing stores, and especially in this quarter called the Marais, which is very like trendy. I will talk more about that in a minute. But so we went together to this clothing store, and I found this coat. I don't know whether this is real or not, but I kind of am leaning towards the fact that it is real. This was made in Italy. It is 100% wool, and it is extremely dramatic. Let me see if I can try it on. Can you guys see me? Okay, you can see me. This angle is horrible, but look at the drama. The drama of this coat. Wait, can I? Here. Yes, it buttons here. It's not as... It is really warm, but it's not as warm as the other coat that I brought, ironically, since it is all wool. It's almost like a sweater coat in a way. It's actually kind of good for fall, I think, but I'm obsessed with it. And I did pay, I want to say I paid like €50 for this, which I feel like is a steal for a wool coat with possibly fur cuffs. It's very, very diva coated. My diva coated coat. So that was the bulkiest souvenir that I brought back. No regrets on any of these, by the way. And if it's not what you would bring back, you can feel free to leave a comment. But I had a particular agenda. I had brought a lot of souvenirs over there for my friends who I was seeing, and my niece and my sister. And so I had some room to bring some things back, but I didn't want to go crazy either. I guess I'll just share these as well. I also brought back 2 scarves. This one, I went to Ile Saint-Louis, which is a very old kind of between 1600 and 1700 island in the middle of the Seine. It used to be called Ile aux Vaches because it was just grass, and they would feed the cows on this blank island in the middle of the Seine. But then Saint Louis, who did a lot, was very historical in Paris. I think he helped with Notre-Dame, definitely helped with Sainte-Chapelle. He would go to this empty grass island with the cows and like pray all the time. So when it started being built up as like a little village and people were living there instead of the cows, they named it after him. And it's really beautiful, and it's like cobblestone streets and buildings, and it's almost like a little village in the middle of the Seine. It's really, really beautiful. It's behind Notre Dame. Anyway, so I went there and I found this little boutique because on that particular day, the wind was so strong that my cheeks were starting to turn bright red and get like wind burnt. And so I was looking for a scarf. And this one is 100% cashmere. I think I have mentioned to you guys that I am trying to only buy new items that are natural fiber. I'm trying not to buy any plastic clothing anymore. My exception is if it is from a secondhand store or thrift store. That's just the rule that I'm having for myself right now. And it feels like a forever scarf. It's pretty light. I don't know if you can see through it a little bit, but it's very warm because it is cashmere. And I love the poppies. I think it's something that I will have and keep forever as a memory. So really stoked about that. I think it's really pretty. And then I also got this scarf, which is 100% silk. And it's quite large, from the same boutique. And the woman who worked there, again, some of these things, it's like they were a silk scarf, a cashmere scarf. Yes, it was expensive, but speaking with the woman who has lived and worked on this island for 46 years in the Seine, and listening to her tell her stories, like it was worth spending that money to speak with her and hear what she had to say and all of that. So I love that it's black and white. I love the pattern. I think it's very classic. I could see myself wearing it both kind of this way, like as a little scarf like that around my throat, or as like a kerchief on my head, like that. Ooh, I love that actually. That's fierce. Even like rolling it up even smaller, like as like a little headband, like I could see myself wearing this in a lot of different ways, and it is 100% silk. So it is a natural fiber, ushering into my wardrobe. That may mean that I need to do a scarf declutter, to be determined. Not doing that right now. Anyway. Okay, what next? There's like categories. There's things going on here. I think I'm going to do... I'll show you guys the book situation. Am I going to show you the book situation? Oh no, I forgot like 2 things. Shoot. Okay, well, I'll talk about Giverny now then. Shucks. Okay, well, Giverny, as I mentioned before, is the garden where Monet did a lot of his painting. So it was my last day before leaving for the UK. So I did go like a little bit ham in Giverny, but I got these beautiful postcards. Sidebar. One of the souvenirs I got almost everywhere was postcards. 1, they're flat. 2, they're small. 3, they're easy to kind of display in the house and keep around without like taking over, because you can just stand them on a little easel and like swap them out if you want. But these little flower ones, I just think that they're really beautiful. And I thought they would be easy to either do that with, or if I wanted to actually frame them, I could. I also got these fridge magnets. Again, they are small, but they are some of Monet's like most famous paintings of his garden. And then this one, some artist had kind of created a fun kind of cartoony reproduction of Giverny, including the water lily pond down here, and then all of the flowers, and this is Monet's house. And I got that magnet as well as a couple of prints and cards of that as well. See, here is the artist doing again. So I don't think she watches my YouTube videos, but I got 2 of these, one to give to my aunt who is a painter as well. And some greeting cards to use, probably also for my aunt, and postcards with a lot of his famous works. I'm trying to find, oh, here he is standing in his studio. So I got to walk in there while I was there. That was really cool. Here's a bigger version of that artist's rendition of the garden and the grounds. The house had this like really cool blue kitchen, like where everything was blue. Well, that, yeah, and then a bright yellow dining room where everything was completely yellow. Isn't that cool? And there's Monet standing in his garden with his house. Big Monet fan over here. In case you haven't figured that out by now. Like, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? I can't believe it's like I was standing right there. Got to see everything. It's really special. So in addition to that, at Giverny, I got, that I did not bring over here right now today, I got a beautiful candle that is like 100 years of Monet, and the smell was like, it was, because it was at a gift shop, it was expensive, and I kept trying to walk away from it, and I just couldn't. So even though it was a candle, obviously in glass, and it would be hard to transport, I was like, I cannot stop thinking about this. I'm gonna really regret it if I don't get it. So I got it, I splurged. And I also got a container that leaked over my PJ pants. We're not talking about it. Of honey with Giverny honey with from the bees in Giverny, and it has vanilla bean in it, and it looked just kind of local, special, and so I decided to go for that as well as like a cute souvenir to bring back. That's everything I got from Giverny. Not so bad, but in terms of bringing stuff back, I mean, clearly I made it. It's fine. From a random shop in Paris, I brought these funny socks back. I think they're cute. They have the Eiffel Tower, baguettes, and croissants, which was the bulk of my diet while I was in France. I pretty much ate baguettes, croissants, pastries, and I feel great. So I felt healthy and full of energy. All right, what do I want to do now? I guess I'll do Shakespeare and Company now. So I went to Shakespeare and Company for a few reasons. One, it has just an amazing history with a lot of the writers in Paris in the early 1900s. The woman who owned that bookstore did more for publishing Hemingway than Hemingway's own like agent. So I went there, and also it was the backdrop for one of my most favorite movies and trilogies. I'm gonna see if I can snag that really quick. If you guys have not watched this trilogy, Before Sunrise, Before Sunset, and now they also have Before Midnight, you need to. So this is the screenplay for the first two installments. It has Ethan Hawke in it and Julie Delpy. I got it stamped from Shakespeare and Company. It's right across the street from the Notre-Dame, and there's always a line to get in, and you're not allowed to take photos inside, so I was not able to film inside, but some of these postcards kind of show what it looks like inside. The big quote there is, "Be not inhospitable to strangers, lest they be angels in disguise." They actually had a little corner with a piano in it. They also used to have this cat named Kitty, who is no longer with us, but was really cool. They also have, so the other thing is it's at kilometer 0 in Paris. It's like right at Notre Dame. I don't know the significance of calling it kilometer 0. If anybody else does, leave it in the comments. I just know that that's important. And then Proust wrote this questionnaire. Maybe I can go over it later for like jogging writing prompts. So I got a couple of copies of that. So where do I put all this stuff? Oh, there. I also have my Eurostar ticket for the train from Paris to London. Here. And, okay. The Paris Opera House. Let's talk about that. The Paris Opera House felt like an absolutely spiritual experience for me while I was there. I need more coffee. I took so many photos. I took so many videos. It's not just because Phantom of the Opera takes place in the Paris Opera House, which is super cool. There's something about the design and the fact that opera was performed there, is still performed there, and it's just so like lavishly done and designed and maintained. This is what the outside looks like. Here's that. And I don't know, it almost felt like the Palace of Versailles while I was there, except it was around opera. And so going into the auditorium and seeing where people sing, and it really felt very magical and inspiring to me in terms of bringing back my own singing. They also have a lot of like iconography that's very like sun and moon and cosmic, which I think also really resonates with me. So it was really special being there. So I did bring back a lot of souvenirs from the Paris Opera. Oh, I forgot. I also got this keychain from Shakespeare and Company with the quote that I hope to add to my keys. I got a Christmas ornament from the Paris Opera House. I got a couple of fridge magnets. I may wind up giving some of these. This has the boxes from in the theater. I may wind up giving some of these as gifts in the future. But for right now, I'm really, really happy with everything I brought home. I've been waiting to get some of these out of their packaging. to film this video for you guys, so I'm excited to kind of film and then put things away. I got this mirror, which I originally thought was actually a compact, but it's actually just like a one-sided mirror like that. So I don't know if you just like put it face down on your table in its little velvet bag, or if you, because I was thinking I would carry it with me in my bag and use it as a mirror. And I guess I still could because it does come in like a velvet bag, but I prefer having something that closes. I don't know. Leave your thoughts on this in the comments, because I bought it, and then when I got it home, I was like so excited, and I opened it, and I was like, wait, it doesn't close. The mirror is just exposed on the back. Like, what if it cracks? So, anyway. But I do love, like, I do really love this enamel opera house on the back. I think it's really beautiful, and it's very, like, well made. It's very weighty. It made me want to audition. Made me want to get back to singing really bad, being in that opera house. Dangerous territory. I don't know. To be determined. It's like, do I go there? Do I not go there? Like in terms of thinking about auditioning for that place. Most of the opera apparently isn't actually performed at the old opera house. It's more for ballet now. But the opera is performed at the new Opera Bastille. But they do still sometimes have the operas in the old opera house, which I think is kind of ironic. But ballet really did get its start there, which I found out. I was there and I took an audio tour. And just getting the little cassette tape thingy and being able to hear like the tour from their point of view, but not like a spoken tour. It was plenty. It was perfect. And that was my big event for that one day of travel. I wanted to make sure I had plenty of time to take photos, to do what I wanted to do. Ooh, can I get in here, or am I gonna get stuck here? I got 2 more souvenirs from the opera house. I worked really hard to make sure I was not bringing like clutter into my house. But things that I can try to use. So I got a plate. Monument de Paris. The Garnier Opera House. I actually had just given away one of my plates, which I know sounds so random, but one of my neighbors mentioned how much she likes bees, and I had a plate that I really was never using that had bees on it, and it didn't match any of the rest of my plates, and so I just dropped it off and gave it as a gift, and she was thrilled. So instead of me kind of having something that was just like cute and wasn't really doing much for me, she says she uses it all the time. So now I have something that means something to me, instead taking that plate's spot, and that means something to me. Not that I needed to replace it, but when I got there I was like, I just gave away a plate. This is great. So I'm thrilled. I think this is awesome. Okay, let me find... The trouble with these hauls is that I am not a professional, and I'm not used to it, so... It had recently celebrated its 150 years, so I did get a 150-year tote bag as well. Oh, and you know what else? I already put it in my drawer. I also got a t-shirt that was actually embroidered, not printed, of the Opera Nationale de Paris. So that was that for the Opera House. It was quite a hefty haul, I know, but opera's my thing. I don't feel bad about that. Also, you guys are going to get annoyed with me like justifying my purchases. I know I don't need to justify my purchases. It's just you all knew me from decluttering. So now that I'm bringing stuff in, I feel like I need to like explain why I did it. Oh, maybe that's weird. I don't know. Oh, I also got this pouch from Shakespeare and Company. I was looking at getting a tote bag, but I thought I have so many tote bags. I do not need that. So I got this pouch instead. I thought it would be good for travel, and possibly like keeping things separate in some of my dresser drawers, which I know sounds a little funny, but I have, you know, tights versus shapewear in there, and like I thought maybe I could use this to contain some of the like shapewear pieces. Just an idea, and I really liked this art here on it, and so I thought, why not? I was doing a lot of trying to organize stuff in my suitcase and keep things separated, so while I didn't use it this time around, I kind of had stuck it in between the shopping bags. I could see myself using it in the future for sure, especially because a couple of the pouches that I went over with, I have put it in a little declutter bag because I'm like, you know what? This no longer resonates for me and my family. So, speaking of pouches, I love Catholic iconography, and one of the first churches that I visited in Paris was Sacré-Cœur and Montmartre. So let me find what I got from there. Is that? No, that's from something else. Bibbidi bobbidi. I think this is what I got from there. And I found out not long before I arrived that when my grandmother lived in Paris, she spent a lot of time at Sacré-Cœur. There is Sacré-Cœur. So kind of hearing that also made me feel more connected to that church in particular. So I got some Catholic and Christian stuff from there. And what's cool about Sacré-Cœur is the iconography of like the heart that is like on fire is everywhere. And I think that's really cool. So I got that. I got a brass necklace of the same thing, which I plan to wear a lot. Another fridge magnet. I got these little pouchies that I thought would be good either in my own bag or as a gift. One of Mary, one of Michael, and one of Jesus. And I got some really cool postcards and stuff as well, because we went inside Sacré-Cœur, and we also kind of went around Montmartre. Wait a minute, this is not organized. Hold on. Okay, apparently I like just stuck my Sainte-Chapelle souvenirs in there as well. Not the smartest thing I've ever done in my life. Okay. We're figuring this out together. This is unedited. This is the way it is. Okay. Great. It's okay. I think I figured it out. So I got another magnet there. That's more like art style. And then I got these artist prints that I thought were really cute for holiday time. I got two of each, or a few of each. They say joy, peace, and thank you. I'm going to give a lot of these as gifts, possibly framed. I think they're really beautiful. So I got those. Okay, I guess I mean, I guess I'll get into Sainte-Chapelle since I stuck it in that bag like a silly goose. Um, okay. So Sainte-Chapelle, we went to Notre-Dame, and I went with my sister, and it was really amazing because we happened to go on. First of all, it looks so wildly different than it did before the fire, because they essentially had to rebuild almost the whole thing, and a lot of the stained glass is new, some of it is old. A lot of it they tried to reproduce almost exactly, and some of it they've kind of embraced the change and have gone a little bit different with it. But we happened to be there on a day where they had the relic of the crown of thorns out, and to venerate. So I got this prayer card, and I actually stood in line and I got to touch the crown of thorns, which was really, really cool. The real one that Jesus wore from a long, long time ago. It was transported to France, and this crown of thorns is actually why the other church, Sainte-Chapelle, was built with all the beautiful stained glass. But it's now kept at Notre-Dame, and it's gotten out every Friday in Lent, which is when I happen to be there, and the first Friday of every month, I believe. I didn't really get any other souvenirs from Notre-Dame, I don't think, but I did light a couple of prayer candles because I felt called to do that. So, oh my gosh, I got so much stuff from Sainte-Chapelle. But it's all flat, so transportation was a breeze. So Sainte-Chapelle, the stained glass in Sainte-Chapelle is breathtaking to say the least. That is all stained glass, and each one of those windows tells a story, is like a book from the Bible, and each little window pane, here I'll show you this one, each little one of those tells like one Bible story. So as you can imagine, it's like the detail in them, and when the sun shines through, it was such a spiritual experience. It felt like that. It was such a spiritual experience for me. My parents had actually just been to Paris not long before I went, for similar reasons, and also to visit family. I love that one. So he reminded me of a choral music piece called Sainte-Chapelle. Also brought the little book free pamphlet home, by Eric Whittaker, the piece of music, and I listened to it, and it was like, it totally brought tears to my eyes, and it was such a visceral experience to listen to that choral music piece, written based on the feeling of being in that space. It was like very, very magical. So this is Sainte-Chapelle, that church there, the pointy one. It's kind of, if you look at it, it's kind of itty bitty, but it feels, because it's so tall, it just feels so like magnanimous. And then this is the front of Notre-Dame. I happened to buy both of those at Sainte-Chapelle. I got this little art print that says Paris, and it has some of the monuments on it. I thought it was cute. I got that from Sainte-Chapelle. I have these little postcards from Sainte-Chapelle, with some of the features of the stained glass and some really beautiful photos. What's interesting is the church I grew up in also had that star pattern on the ceiling with the wood. So I wonder if they were inspired by this church or if it was just a really common thing. There's Samson and Delilah. She's cutting his hair off. So I got this little book of 10 postcards from there. I got a larger size book of all of the stained glass windows and explaining all of them and the stories that are there. The detail is astonishing. I am a church nerd. I think that the architecture, the features, the feeling of being inside of a church like that, the sort of reverence and the cultural significance, I think it's really, I everywhere I go, if there is a big old church, I am going in there for sure. And then I got the kind of like tourist explanation book, the larger size one as well, because I don't know why I felt more connected to Sainte-Chapelle than Notre-Dame, but I did. I felt very like it was a very spiritual experience for me to be in there. This is not going to stay there, so I need to put it somewhere else. I'll put it back from where I got it. To change tunes completely, as I was walking through the Marais one day, I stumbled upon a store, and I will have this in the vlogs, that was just Ricola, the cough drops. I was absolutely mystified. I think you may have been able to see it if you have eagle eyes in the series, but I literally have a like candy jar of Ricola on my piano. It's my favorite cough drop. Lozenge, it makes, like, I always have them in my bag with me. It's feels really good on my throat. The original flavor mostly, but in France and Italy they have really cool like different flavors of Ricola. Like they have like a raspberry mint and an elderberry. They have all kinds of like cool different unique flavors. Anyway, so I saw this store that was Ricola and I was so confused. I walked in and it was literally like a rainbow of Ricola on the wall, and I started filming, and I turned to the guy and I said, like, do you, like, what is this? Like, is there, I didn't know there was a Ricola store. And he said, yeah, it's the only one in the world. So they had these tins where you could kind of pick, almost like a candy shop, like you could pick Ricolas and fill the tin. So I did that. They had these little containers, so I think I'm going to switch out my jar for this on my piano, and it has in French, German, and English like the description of Ricolas. I thought it was the recipe actually, but and I also got a Ricola Sleepy Time tea, which I had never seen before, and I put it immediately on my tea shelf. It was so cool. The fact that I just stumbled on this store with like my favorite cough drop, my favorite lozenge. It really, a lot of this trip kind of reminded me of who I am as a singer and who I am as a human and the art that I love. I did manage to eke in a quick trip to the Louvre. This is one of my favorite sculptures, so I got a fridge magnet of that. And I got postcards as well. I got to see Miss Ma'am in person, which was really cool. I got to see some other like beautiful, some of these are not friendly for YouTube, some of the paintings. Got to see this work in person, which is one of my mom's favorites. I love Renoir as well. I think his work is really beautiful. But that trip to the Louvre was very quick, and so I kind of had to prioritize what to see. Let me see. What else? Oh, this was when we were up in Montmartre. I got some postcards, some cute art prints. A cat going around Paris. The black cat imagery is pretty big there. Understandably so. Is that all for Paris? I also kept all of my little like museum pamphlets. This one is from Sacré-Cœur. Again, just as memories. I have like a little folder of things from when I went to Italy, so I will probably have a similar folder for my Paris trip as well. Oh, these are postcards from the Marmottan Museum of more Monet. Look at these roses. I just think his work makes me feel so peaceful. Oh, and I also got to discover this other impressionist, a woman. Her name is Berthe Morisot, and she is fabulous. I did not know about her. She was in that whole circle with Monet, and they like showed like a family tree of her marrying some Degas or somebody's son. And anyway, she's a really great painter too, and made me want to like look into her more. Berthe Morisot was her name. Oh, on the first day with my older sister, I also got this belt that it's gold that I'm going to wear with dresses. I forgot that in the first part. Honestly, I was kind of surprised because of, you know, I'm a plus size girl, and I was like surprised anything fit me, but there were clothes there that fit me, and belts and things, but I have enough clothes, so I did not get them. So then, oh, and by the way, my parents loaned me this book for ideas of things to do. Not that I needed ideas, there's so much to do, but what to prioritize or whatever. And I found it to be quite helpful. I think they had gotten this book at the Musée d'Orsay, which I went to specifically. I'm not sure if it's available elsewhere, but I did find it very helpful for some of the major landmarks and talking about some of the stuff that's like it's a good idea to go see and go do. I will be returning this to them, but I was really, really grateful to have it while I was there. And then I went to the UK, and I spent one day in London, super quick. And one of the things I wanted to do, Notting Hill is one of my favorite movies, so I wanted to see, what is that market called? The market, right, that runs through Notting Hill. It's not called Piccadilly. It is called, oh man, it's the name of the street that runs through Notting Hill, and I wanted to see it, and I wanted to see where Notting Hill was filmed, and this was the bookshop that it was based off of. So they have souvenirs, and she was really nice enough to stamp my postcards with the stamp of the bookstore. It wasn't exactly the filming location for the movie, which I also did see, but it was what the movie was based on. So that was really fun to get to go see. We also saw My friend took me around, Sarah. Shout out to Sarah, who does watch my videos. Thank you again so much for showing me such a good time. It was a beautiful day in London. We saw the Black Dog Pub, where Taylor Swift wrote a song about that. We saw Notting Hill and like the locations where they actually filmed. We saw Royal Albert Hall. We took a boat on the Thames. Oh, we saw Tower of London, and we kind of could see the landmarks on the boat from the river. It was really, really fun. And then I went to Oxford with my friend, and we found this little store. We went to Blackwell's as well. Where did I know I bought something from Blackwell's, but it is not here. I got this really cool letter opener. I've been on the hunt for a good letter opener for a while, and this one is made of brass. If you're asking how I got it through TSA, I checked it, so everybody was safe. This store was called Scriptum, and I got, oh, this is where my Blackwell's bag went. There we go. That's what it was. I got a tea towel. I got an Oxford tea towel. Here, I'll open it. So it has everything on it. There was lots of Lord of the Rings. Oh gosh, this is going to be too big to show, I think. There was lots of Lord of the Rings souvenirs there because Tolkien is from Oxford. I think it talks about him on here. Maybe. Maybe not. Oh, well, anyway. We had a great time just kind of exploring. I wanted to get like a Tolkien souvenir, but I just couldn't find anything that felt right, so I just sort of used my memory instead. And that is about it. Lots of pictures, lots of video footage as well. My masks that I had with me and I used. And again, I don't know if I'm gonna keep every single bag, but my folder from my trip to Italy from 2019 is like similarly shaped, and yeah, so that is everything I got. That is my souvenir haul, my souvenir tour. I had an amazing time. It was very transformational. I can't wait to edit and post and show you guys some of it. I was definitely not the perfect vlogger by any means. I still have a lot of work to do with learning to film, and at the beginning, in the first half of my trip, I put a lot of pressure on myself to try to film everything and be a good documentarian and vlogger, and kind of by the end, I got a little tired and I was just kind of filming where I could. So maybe I'll do kind of a first half, second half, or something like that, and the second half will be a bit more of a brief or general overview, because as much as I wanted to like vlog everything and take you guys with me, and there will be a lot of footage and a lot of videos that I put out about my time in Paris, like how I traveled while chronically ill, and you know, things that I would have done differently, or packing tips or whatever. I also wanted to be in the moment and really experience it, and I felt, and also my phone kept dying, which was really annoying, and so I did my best, but it definitely was not perfect, which just means I need to go back, right? It felt like the perfect way to celebrate everything that I accomplished in the last year and kind of kick off this new chapter in my life at my new job and in my decluttered apartment. And yeah, so feels amazing. Really, really happy. Oh, by the way, one of the other things I brought back, so many of these little Madeleines. I bought like a package of plain and a package of Nutella thinking I would somehow eat all of them, and I have so many, which is wonderful. That's what I want to spend my time eating here now. But yeah, so let me know what you think. Let me know if you think I wasted my money on anything. Let me know what you liked hearing about. If you have any video ideas in terms of what you would like my opinion or experience on from my trip to Paris, please leave that in the comments below. I definitely could use some help coming up with new ideas, and definitely a lot of content coming in the future. I love you guys, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye! Oh wait, I forgot all the YouTube things. Shoot. Like this video if you like this video. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. If you feel so called to hype this video so that more people see my channel and possibly subscribe. We're so close to 8,000 subscribers. So close. It would mean a lot to cross that threshold. And yeah, leave a comment. Leave a comment if you're happy, if you're mad, if you're sad, if you're glad. Tell me how you're doing. Life in New York, being back, has been crazy. I literally haven't even put away all my stuff from my suitcase yet. Clearly, I'm about to have to put all this stuff away. And more content coming soon once I feel like everything has calmed down a little bit. Okay. I really think that's it this time. Okay, thanks. Love you. Bye. You're the best.